Hey, all over the world. Hey, and welcome to the Criticola episode where we talk about the Criticola. So before this patch that happened very many months ago, they changed the Criticola away from being insanely overpowered because basically what it was before, it made you run faster, take more damage, but also do more damage. But the damage you took and the damage you dealt was not proportionate. Like, you still gave mini crits, but you didn't take mini crits. So it's been through a couple of iterations, and now we have the Criticola that we have here today. And it's probably in a good state, I'd say, so far. Basically how it works is that you drink it, and then you shoot, and when you shoot, you get marked for death. So it's basically being covered in Girardi for 5 seconds. And there you go. So it's actually pretty strong. I highly recommend using it with the soda popper because it has the highest DPS, and of course it will help you build that hype meter faster so you can jump around and avoid getting shot and stuff. So basically what the biggest difference this is, of course, with the hype is that you have squishies like the Spy and Engineer who has like only 125 health. Normally you'd need 2 bullets to take him out, but with this one you only need 1 and you can actually stay a bit further back. Heavy still takes 3 shots regardless, but he's also very weak. Medic takes 2. And as you can see, it takes 2 like this. And you can also use the regular shotgun or the Babyface's blaster or any of these shotguns here. And you're asking, but where is the backscatter? And the answer is in the trash because it sucks. All right, so let's just look at the pros and the cons. It's actually not that complicated. It's a pretty straightforward weapon. I mean, you give mini crits and then you take mini crits when you fire. It's totally negatable with Ubers. That means if a medic is Ubering you and you Criticola, the downside of taking mini crits doesn't apply. However, the medic is spending an Uber on you and not on a class that can deal splash damage. And it only activates when you shoot, so that means you can drink and you see the situation. It's like, oh wait, no, if I shoot here, I'm gonna die, so I'm just not gonna do that. And then, of course, the after effects lingers. Like, when it goes over, and you've been firing for a lot, it's still 5 seconds of being covered in effective Girardi that you have to deal with. And also the fact that you have no secondary pistol to deal with it. So you're basically enhancing your primary weapon, and that's all you can do. So all the kind of versatile plays, like finish off players, soften up, killing sentries is especially hard now because you do take more damage and you will die. Because Scout's bad against sentries, and now you're somehow even worse. It's like rock, paper, scissor, except the scissor gets 2 points instead of 1. So with that out of the way, let's go on and look at the first demo, and we'll just look at this. I don't think this will be a very long episode because it's pretty straightforward, and we didn't have that many submissions. But we don't need it. It's a minor change. It went from being OP to just fine, I think. It gets the job done. So while we load up Enigmas here, be sure to join the Steam group as well as the Discord for announcements and stuff. So here he is on bad lands, just running up to the middle point here. There's another scout here. He decides to just kill him. Here we go, and then he goes forward. And this is like, let me know if this has happened to you. So you go around the corner and you see like, there's a guy. It's one guy. The other team is nowhere to be found. It's like, all right, so we're just gonna go around behind this corner here and just drink this. And what the fuck? So that was a totally legit game that wasn't rigged or like modified in any way whatsoever. So let's look at a real introduction for that. So that's gonna be me, and here we are on payload bad water. Yes, there we go. Currently using the stock scattergun. I'd say the scattergun, Babyface's blaster. Pretty good with this. Maybe not so much to Force of Nature. So here we go, we use it, and still no, we don't take any additional damage, but there's where it shines. We hurt the heavy for 100, hurt him for 69, 122, he dies, but then, oh, look at this. We are now taking mini crits, and look at that. In case you haven't noticed, that's Sentry. And Sentries, well, they kill me pretty fast, and even in slow motion, we just kind of die. So as far as integral stuff goes, it's like, yeah, you kill faster, but you also die faster. You don't run faster, which was like the biggest deal, because anything that gives you a boost in mobility is huge, because it just turns up the effective damage so much. In the previous critical, it made you run faster as well, which made you close gaps faster, which then again made you do even more damage. So here we have Amadeus, he's playing here, and he's going to be going forward, and we're going to be looking at how it negates the downsides of this critical. So we're just fast forwarding here until it gets to the mid fight, and we're gonna watch how he does this. So he jumps on top of his roof, you know, high ground is great. And there we have some guys, he's just doing some pot shot damage. His aim has improved, as he told me, but it doesn't look like it. But that's fine. His team is up there with him. He's just capping, looking for things to shoot and things to do. And then he's taking some damage here. Of course, he can't extinguish himself, but he can run and grab health packs, which is great. So there he is, just going around taking an arrow as well. Christmas is coming early because it's July. And there we go, and we have an Uber, and there we go. All right, so now Uber, downside completely negated. Kills that heavy, and then does some damage. I think the soldier would have died in about the same amount. And then he gets his flank and goes over to the side. So there's a lot of pressure on the scout, and like it only doesn't last that long either, so. And sometimes the amount of shots it requires, especially on the beaver classes, are usually the same if they are overhealed. If they are overhealed, it's slightly less. Then again, you don't have any follow-up or something like that. It also works with melee, so you can do that too. Now there's going to go for another shot here at the attack, and it's just building that Uber. Of course, I prefer building Uber while being in combat, like taking damage naturally, but this works too. Then he goes in, you can see it's active there, and there you go, another Uber coming in, completely negating the downside. This heavy doesn't really know what to do. Kills the heavy, and I'm not sure why he dodges while he's invulnerable, because you can't get hurt, which means you're just making it harder for you to aim. So that's also like an art with scouts, is like when to know when to stand still. It's the title of my new scout book, when to stand still. So there you go, they do win. They are victorious. Is the game audio very loud? Has anyone said that in the chat? That it's loud? I haven't been able to sound check, but it seems like the soundboard was very, very low. Wait, hold on. There we go, the soundboard has been fixed. Not sure about sound levels. And also, that game was so epic that it crashed my game. Cool. Great. Seeing in chat that some people are thinking of using this weapon. Yes, it's definitely good in enhancing your shotgun skills. However, it will be very bursty. And if you don't kill the targets, they will most likely kill you. Right. So that was with the work of a pocket medic. So for anyone who doesn't play with their girlfriends or have like a friend who always plays medic, this is not a luxury that we always have. So we'll look at the guy that doesn't have that luxury, mainly Seinfeld, and we'll see what he can do here as the game decides to be completely black. But then eventually it will show up. Yes, there we go. Because this is loud, and this is not so loud. All right. So he is running around the side here. Get some nice shots. And then he also, I think he forgot that you don't run faster with this thing anymore. Some scouts actually like to use this out on the rollout. So then he just goes over to the side here. Drink has recharged. That's like a downside that he has to recharge. You can't like refill it any other way except going into his supply locker. He goes forward, does a minimal amount of damage. That scout would have died in 2 shots if he had proper aim. Then goes down the ditch. He goes a pyro that doesn't know he's behind him, and then he goes on. Kind of lags a bit, but that's fine. Then he goes just random crits, hits something. This guy, this demo.
I can see my face.
Not sure what he was doing.
Gotta stop the cart.
Then he goes, grabs this, survives that little encounter, drinks it once again, and keep in mind you shouldn't shoot until you're absolutely sure because that activates you taking mini crits. There's that scout again. You can see that it works okay in situations where you aren't getting a lot of pressure and there aren't a lot of splash. Like if you play on Dust Bowl or any other shit map that's basically like a long corridor, you're gonna die to like just random splash and other stuff. That's bad. then he gets a conch and some overheal from his friend. Some shots, kills the guy, and everything is fine. People are saying I should turn down the volume, and I will do so. Volume, like this. Can you hear that? Or is that too low? Wait, hold on. Oh, is that too loud? Wait, hold on. Maybe this is fine. I'm always tweaking the settings. I think it got fucked up when I did update the sound drivers. My apologies for that, so it should be fine now, I think. Something like that. Let's check with the soundboard. The soundboard is also extremely loud. Let's see if we can fix that. Sound checks are for pussies, and then he dies. So he did okay. He did fine with that stuff. So apologies for updating drivers, and for some reason the driver's not having the same volume. So now we're gonna look at Enigmas, and he's actually gonna do all right here. So I'm just gonna go and fix this audio as well. And there we go. So I'm just gonna do this. There we go. Now I can switch between the two. Okay, so here he is running up, and he shoots the guy, and now he gets speed. So this is also a great way of doing it. Like I liked it with the soda popper because you can use the hype and just jump. But here it's more like of vertical movement. Am I right? Because I totally don't mix up horizontal and vertical all the time. So it gives you a lot of horizontal movement, and as long as you aren't jumping and taking a lot of damage, you can kind of avoid this. So if you're able to capitalize on this, also, this will help you build the boost a lot faster as well, so it will allow you to build up more speed so you can easily dodge as well. You only have 4 shots, but you can definitely use the power of speed and the power of enemy incompetence to kill everyone you want to. So there you go, just runs past everyone, because he's basically like a blue blur. That's not a whole lot, and fuck, my config did this again. Alright, so there we go. There he is, running around. Cool. Doing damage, picking off classes that really doesn't make a whole lot of difference in the game. So that's also one thing, like the snipers in this game aren't really doing much. And he's like, well, I'm gonna let that spy live, and this heavy just probably has so many questions. And then he goes and drinks, and there comes a guy with a big slappy. Just gonna be the topic for next Sunday. It's gonna be the hot hand, and there he goes. One-shots these squishies, which you can do with that. Now he has 5 seconds of taking mini crits, but mini crits are only dangerous if you are taking damage. If you're in the case of Enigmas and not taking damage, you can ignore the downside by just simply outmaneuvering the enemy's ability to aim, which works pretty great. So then he goes down here to this is the Koth King map, by the way. Here we have the snipers once again. And he also has a lightning sword, and there's Pyro that he kills. Slows him down quite a bit. And then using this again to get more damage. There's a sniper. Using him to build a little boost, run a little faster. Going around. So this can work. It's also a low action area. There's like, I don't think there's... It doesn't appear to be that many coordinated players. And especially with Demonites running around, you know you're in for a good time. And this sniper, it's hard to hit snipers that aren't moving. Because they're not.
Predictable!
Yes. So there we go. Kills that as well. Cool. Grabs this, goes back to the middle point, and somehow they still aren't capping the point. And that's mainly because he's killing the wrong guys. He's not killing the guys occupying the point, he's killing the guys that's in the back and not really making a big difference. And then not supporting his team while they're there. So it can happen. So there you go, kills one of the guys that's actually doing something, but scouts are weak against pyros when you run slower than them, and the pyros can come and burn you, but you should use your speed to your advantage and not run into their flames, because it could be bad for you, but luckily Enigmas can clean up the pyros, except that he doesn't have a lot of backup from his team to capitalize on the kills he is constantly getting. He has killed so many this game, and he hasn't died once. And then, of course, he has to capture and flank and kill everyone. And there we go. Now he has taking mini crits for a little bit. Looking around, and there's a pyro, and dead. And you lost the round. And you're shit at the game, and you should go home, said no one. But maybe someone thought that. Cool. Now, let's look at Jack Mob. We're just gonna see what he does here on Borneo using this weapon. So he's opting to use the regular scattergun. I would say like the Soda Popper, Babyface's Blaster, and this one are the go-to choices. You can use the Force of Nature with this, but I wouldn't recommend it. And of course, the backscatter gives you crit from behind anyway, so why? Why would you ever use that thing? So there he goes, he uses it, and then he goes around, and oh ho ho, sentry! Just somehow survives because a teammate went in front of it and took the aggro, because sentries work like this, whoever's closest it shoots at. So there you go. And then he's just using the payload to get health back. A lot of players don't know that. And he's currently out of a secondary at the moment. He's just waiting for his drink to come back. And then we'll soon see the fairness and reaction time that you can do with this. Because keep in mind, now he's ready. So he does a little drink. Here he is. He's gonna run. Sees a sniper, and one shot, one kill. And then he sort of misses the spy here a couple of times, and the spy survives. But that's gotta be... It's a really good squishy cleaner, to say it like that. Like if you are in the back lines and you're working on like taking out engineers or snipers or any other class that's out of position, this weapon is really great for just one-shotting those guys. And then he's going around and just chasing some guys, and then he goes on for a long time, and he doesn't really use the critical all that much. I'm just gonna skip that part. But I like the first part where he just one-shotted the sniper, and the sniper's like, ugh, God. One-shotting people? God, that's dumb. I wish Scout wouldn't have that ability. It should only be me because I'm a sniper and I'm good at one-shotting people. So here we have none other than Mile, and he is just going straight through the teleporter. And oh, look at what the what?
What?
Wait, hold on. That was a lot of death in just a short period of time. That's like we are 12 seconds in, and he's already gotten like 3 kills. Hold the phone. What happened? We gotta witness that again because that was some intense stuff. So he goes through the teleporter, drinks this, so he has the crits activated. Sees that there's something coming down there, and there's a demo. He aims at the heavy and hits both of them, and then kills the heavy. He does 136 and then some combination of the other numbers that are squashed together. And then he sees the medic, hits him for 71. And then 89, which sometimes equals more that the medic is pretty dead. So that's pretty good, like for flanking surprises like that, when they're already weak and a bit banged up, you can do that. And also the zoning of the distance allows you to capitalize a bit more. Keep in mind though, mini crits taken, doesn't really care for that all that much. Now a spy is around and he takes care of Mile. Bringing the pain, also killing Jay here, the scout that came in for the sentry. And then he's gonna do this again. He's like, you know what? I have such a great experience. Oh shit! And Sniper Jeff was like, you know, that was for the sniper that the Jack Mob killed in the previous demo. That was the revenge for him. All right. Coming up next is Toxange, and he is going to be playing Scout with the Scouter gun here on Payload Badwater. So also this weapon is also pretty good on 5 CPs because you have a lot of space. And hey, did you see that? That is what we call on the like the practical term for this is bullshit, and we'll show you exactly why. So in case you missed it, here's what's happening. He runs up here and he's like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna have a little drink and activate this. So he goes for the drink. Here we go, and he starts the drink, and before it can complete, this soldier asshole shoots him, launches him off. So you probably wanted to see that, so I forgot to switch. Whoops. So we can just see that again. You already know the commentary. So here he is. He just goes up here, goes for a little drink, and then this soldier man shoots him, and then he spends the drink and doesn't get the crit. So fuck, right? And then Tuxange's like, well, what do I do? Do I go and kill the soldier? No, because he kills you, because he has a medic girlfriend. Isn't that great? So that was all the usage submitted ones. I didn't send that shit to GPS today because it was basically just a guy running in and out of spawn, drinking Criticola, and then doing nothing, running back to spawn, drinking Criticola again, doing nothing, and then repeat that for 5 minutes. So this is me with a loadout that I like. I didn't get any like super good demos for this. But you can see here, like this sniper here We get him in a couple of quick shots, and then we can use the hype that we use gained by the extra damage to jump up here, which is pretty darn good. And then, of course, the guy we killed, Big Stefan, he's like, crit a bitch. And you'll see that we kill him 2 more times in this demo. So there we go. So now we're just hanging out here defending. So the reason a lot of people don't know this, but like as long as you stay in battle and you fire more than 6 shots in a row, this thing has a higher DPS than the scattergun as long as you just stay in battle. So here we have him again, so I decide to ignore this other stuff. And there we go, 1 shot, kill him, and then boom, boom, kill him. You don't have to hold down the button. And here we can use the hype to just jump over the medic to negate any kind of mini crit he would have done on us with the Uber Saw there. He might have also critted us, for God knows the Uber Saw and other melees crit a lot. So then we just jump on this heavy who, I don't know what he did. But then we just go around the back. Just hang out at the top here, then we go down here again. And now the guy we killed twice has switched to Scout. And now he gets backed up by his friends here. So we're just jumping around and we kill him, and then we activate this, and then we kill this spy as well. Just checking that he's dead by picking up the ammo. Don't want to engage that pyro because they can really screw us up in a tight area. So there we go. And yeah, the crouch jump scripts makes the soda popper look like crap. And also, I said this in the previous videos, hype meter builds when you're shooting disguised spies. So it's great for that too. I think that's a bug. But here we go, I run into him, and who will win this battle? Is it me, or is it the guy who's been killing me? Or the guy I've been killed that hasn't been able to kill me or land a single shot on me despite having 14 health? And the answer is, the winner of this battle is actually the spy that just kind of showed up. Because he can shoot and not bitch when he dies. So that was a showcase of some of the power that you have with the Criticola. It's pretty good, especially with the Soda Popper. Soda Popper in the past, if I remember correctly, used to get mini crits as well, so you're kind of just doing that. I mean, it already has like a crit bottle on it. So there we go, we are now on Snakewater, and this is the last demo of the day, and we'll see the power of Criticola from behind. It's just really good at just cleaning up house. It's so fast and reliable. So there we go, we drink and we use third-person bullshit mechanics to do this. We go down and we miss the medic, kill him, and then we have a sniper kill him in 1 shot, and then I always saved 1 shot for this soldier here. So he's pretty weak, and then he decides to take mini crits all by himself. Keep in mind, mini crits is the same as being covered in Girardi, so you're basically, everyone you're shooting is covered in Girardi. You don't need to Criticola if they've already covered in Girardi, or if you're covered in Girardi, you might as well just use the Criticola because you will take the same amount of damage regardless. Mini crit debuffs does not stack. And then you run into a sticky trap because you're an idiot. So that is going to conclude the Criticola episode. So we didn't have that many demos because there weren't that many submissions. We're kind of on a short schedule here where we do 2 episodes every week. But from what I saw, people were using this not to its full potential. A lot of people aren't playing with this enough. I think if you made this your main weapon, you could pull off some amazing stuff, especially with the Soda Popper, because maybe if it's a blaster. However, the Scattergun is a pretty safe pick. So let's look at the next 2 things we will be doing. So coming up this Wednesday, we will take a look at the Eternal Reward for Spies. It got a couple of changes, and we'll just see how that affects with your play, and you can use whatever other unlocks you want. So that is next Wednesday in a few days. Up next is the new pyro weapon called the Hot Hand. This is basically a joke weapon. You can use it all the time, or you can just use it once. I want to see at least 1 kill with it. And then you can do whatever other pyro shenanigans you want. I just want to see 1 slap. Or 10 slaps, or 100 slaps, who knows? Or maybe like a slap and then the stage explodes, Enigmas. Cool, right. So with that out of the way, we're also, the raffle for this episode, we'll be giving away 3 Criticola Stranges. I used one of them, so you get a used Criticola Strange by me. I've drank from this bottle in the game. Cool. See ya.